Hello, I am seriously questioning my masculinity, and this is Reviews and Info. Today, we are going to look at another one of my favorite animated shows. This animated show airs on the Hub. It's a series targeted at younger girls, but is enjoyed by adult males. It is a reboot of a show that was from the 80s that I grew up on, and it existed primarily to sell toys from Hasbro. It stars Andrea Lippman, Ashley Bell, Barrett McKippet, Ingrid Nilsson, and Shannon Chan Kent. It stars a bookworm and a fashionista. It takes place in a slice-of-life magical world where nothing bad ever happens. It has songs. The population is mostly female. It has great continuity. I've been a fan of it since the beginning. That's right, you guessed it. It's none other than Strawberry Shortcake Berry Bitty Adventures. And why in the heck is this show not as beloved as MLP? In fact, this is the reason why I stayed away from My Little Pony for so long, because I was trying to give a more interesting show a better chance. At least that was my attitude back in the day.
They're ponies!
Yeah, I was a different person back then. See, now that I've seen both shows quite a lot, I do find My Little Pony Friendship is Magic to be the more interesting and compelling series. It's the one I'm more willing to watch reruns of again and again, and the one that I can watch the entire episodes of without having to fast forward through segments or mute out parts of the works or writing. A Strawberry Shortcake doesn't have the best episodes or the most interesting episodes. It is really, really, really good considering what it is as compared to what it could be, which it thankfully isn't. And what I mean by that is so many kid shows still talk down to children and treat them like they're inferior or less intelligent or less capable of following a complicated plot. This is a series that has a plot, it has continuity, it has a story that is constantly moving forward. It's not locked into a formula. The worst thing I can say about it is that it's predictable, and also it lacks battles with giant mythological creatures that can blow up entire tree houses. But for what it is, and in a life that didn't always have ponies in it, it was really good and really a lot of fun to watch. Almost as much fun as Offer or Fraggle Rock or any of the other better written kid shows, which there aren't that many of. One of the notable things about Strawberry Shortcake that makes it different from My Little Pony, other than the obvious 2D versus 3D, is the fact that Strawberry Shortcake doesn't have a lot of background characters. You know, both series happen in a small town. Both feature characters that hold down jobs, and they're kind of immature and childish, but at the same time mature and adult enough to hold jobs. But where My Little Pony is filled with interesting and fascinating background characters, Strawberry Shortcake is truly a small population, where the only characters in the town are the main cast, and a bunch of generic creatures that are not a human species. There's no real personality to Strawberry's background cast. However, Strawberry Shortcake did have the advantage of not being ponies. And for someone trying to get into a kids show, telling them that this other thing is really great, but despite how great it might be, the characters are the girliest animals in the entire world. It feels a little bit more comfortable to say you're into the show that was made for girls where the characters are humans, as opposed to being into the show that was made for girls where the characters are ponies. Plus, I was already into a comic strip series about a girl in her unicorn, which was extremely enjoyable and not at all girly, and what I was happy and proud to be a part of its fandom, and I was enjoying that a great deal more than My Little Pony Oso. But that's another story. Aside from the background characters and the choice of species, the other good thing that this show had going for it was plots. While the plots may have been predictable, they were fun stories, and they were told in such a way that even though you sort of knew what was going to happen, you were still compelled to watch the entire thing to see just how they would get there. The world was just different enough that it was fantasy enough to make things just a little bit different. And while the problems were never anything dramatically drastic, like how My Little Pony has manticores and hydras and all sorts of mythological creatures running around, Strawberry Shortcake's issues were more things like one friend is lying to another friend, or, little things like that. It was very slice of lifey. And a lot of times people look at My Little Pony and say, oh, this show has too much magic, there's too many mythical creatures, what's with all the dragons all the time? I don't want magic in my series. Now, Strawberry Shortcake had none of that, so maybe some people who are complaining are watching the wrong series. And just like My Little Pony, Strawberry Shortcake also had songs. But what was really fun about Strawberry Shortcake is that at the end of the day, they didn't just drop a plot and forget about it and move into the next plot so that you could watch the episodes out of order and not have to worry about what happened in the episode before. These were episodes where every single day what happened in the last episode set up what would happen in the next episode, and the story continued day after day after day as the season went on. So many episodes featured tie-ins to the episode before them, and many episodes set up what would happen in the episode that would follow, which I thought was a very fascinating and enjoyable idea. Certainly a new concept in a world where one is used to cartoons where at the end of the episode all that growth and progression gets undone. And yet even the characters would learn and grow and remember their lessons and become better people, better friends because of what they've been through. And the show wasn't afraid to introduce new characters to the cast. The setup they have for some of these characters' personalities is also very interesting. There's a good variety of characters. Just the problem is that whatever problem the characters have on the show, the one who has the solution is always Strawberry Shortcake. She is the girl that can do no wrong, that makes no mistakes, and is always right about what she says. And problems are always caused when other characters ignore her advice and do their own things. At least Twilight on the Pony Show gets to make mistakes and sometimes do the wrong thing and sometimes cause the problems, and sometimes other characters are the ones with the solutions. And sometimes she's not even in an episode and the focus is on the other characters. What I absolutely hate in kids' cartoons is when they have to make the protagonist extraordinarily stupid to the point that they can't see what's happening directly behind them by a few feet. There are so many times where a kid's show will have the protagonist look directly at the camera, address the audience with a question, wait for an answer when the answer is blatantly obvious, and then they will go on with the story. Can anyone out there think of a reason why I hate Dora the Explorer? Good answer. I knew you could. You're so smart to figure it out. But honestly, I don't have a problem with Dora the Explorer as a character. Her look, her art style, her personality, everything that she stands for and tries to teach, I'm in favor of. What I hate is the way they present her character in her series. The way that they have to drop her intelligence down to the level of being practically a rock and have her be oblivious to things that are right practically in front of her, just so that it can make the audience feel smart because they shouted out and gave her the answers she's looking for. Anyhow, time and time again, I've recommended this show to bronies, and they just don't seem to have any interest in watching it. And I think that's a little bit too bad. And even on its own network, the popularity of the Pony Show far overshadows the popularity of this other one. And I feel sad about that. For a long time, it was what made me not like the ponies, and that's the fact that I saw a really good, enjoyable show in Strawberry Shortcake, and I didn't want the ponies to take that away from her. I really wanted her series to have success. But what is it exactly that makes My Little Pony better than Strawberry Shortcake when they have many of the same plots and settings and half of the same voice cast? I think one of the things that My Little Pony has that Strawberry Shortcake doesn't have is a sense of epicness. While the Pony Show can be a slice of life show too, it's not afraid to go on adventures and fight dangerous creatures. It can be epic when it needs to be, and it puts in a lot more magic and fantasy to its world too. Not to say that Strawberry and her friends aren't without magic, they just don't really use it nearly as often as the ponies do. And their world has a lot fewer threats. In fact, none whatsoever. I think the most dangerous thing they've ever faced was a puppy dog. The comedy in My Little Pony is great too. My Little Pony can also throw something unexpected to you, like the Shy One wrestling a bear to the ground, or the Rainbow One getting chased by hospital guards and barking dogs, only to find out that the barking dog was a hospital patient with some kind of insanity problem. It's little twists like that that makes the Pony Show a little more interesting. I mean, remember that time when Pinky's sister threw that rock? That was awesome. Of course, the acting of one John Delancey will make anything 20% cooler. My Little Pony gets you from all angles. Of course, my pony experience is greatly helped by the fact that my first pony episode was Too Many Pinkie Pies and not Spite at Your Service. Anyhow, regardless of anything I might have said to turn you off, I do hope that you give this really interesting series a try and just sit down, watch a few episodes, do a blind commentary, do a review, put up some videos about it, try it out, see how you like it. Thank you for watching, and good night.